Hi guys, good afternoon. I'm Anna, this is Sculpt. I'm happy to be here. Couple things for class today. If you have a block, great, grab a block, something that resembles a block. We'll use that a couple times. And then weights are gonna be optional. We'll use those just maybe 1 or 2 times as well. So that's my intro. This is 60 minutes of Sculpt. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. We'll start lying on our backs. So come to a comfortable position on your back, on your mat or whatever you've got. Go ahead and lie down. If you want to find Shavasana, legs long, go for it. If you prefer to release your low back by drawing your knees together, your feet wide, feel free to do so. And then always butterfly is a nice option. So you choose. If you need to reset your shoulders, pick them up and relax them back down. Maybe arms are wide, perhaps a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly to feel your breath. But go ahead and close your eyes wherever you find yourself. Relax. Through your whole body, just let gravity start to take over. Find your natural breath. Just tuning into the present moment. Take a moment to acknowledge where your head space is at. Acknowledge where you are at mentally. Did you come to your mat this afternoon with a lot on your mind? How do you feel emotionally? Do you feel fine? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel happy? Perhaps you're not really sure. That's okay. Just take a moment to acknowledge those things. It's neither good nor bad wherever you are. Just notice it, be aware of it. That's where you are today, and that's okay. And then take a moment to just acknowledge the fact of where you are. You're here, wherever that is. You're in a room, you're in your house. You're here on your mat or your floor. And this is the only place you're needed for 60 minutes. This is your time. This is your space for your body to give to yourself. And this is Sculpt, so we're going to work to challenge ourselves, but you're going to listen to yourself throughout this class and give your body what it needs. And perhaps it needs a little less. Maybe you take it easy. Perhaps it needs a little more. You can ramp it up. I want you to modify to your needs and your wants. I want you to challenge yourself if that's what you're looking for, knowing that sometimes it might be difficult, but I never want you to feel pain. An hour just for you. No, I want you to start to tune into your breath, and when you notice your mind is going off somewhere weird, come back to that breath, the feel of your breath in your nostrils, in your chest, your rib cage, your belly, and then the sound of your breath as well. Two more rounds of breath right here. And then wherever you are, start to bring movement. So rock your head side to side. Maybe roll your wrists, roll your ankles, pull your knees together. Maybe a big full body stretch at some point. And then eventually knees can come into chest. Let's give ourselves a big hug. You can lift your head and your shoulders and scrunch up into a little ball if you choose. Or maybe you just focus on pressing down into your low back, a little rock side to side, either way. Another moment here, let it feel good. And then this next thing, we'll use our block. If you don't have one, it's not a big deal. You can always grab something else instead. But I'm going to go ahead and just put that block right between my thighs, my knee area, somewhere that it can stay without me holding. I'm going to physically squeeze in on my inner thighs, squeezing into that block and tabletopping my legs out in front of me. So I'm feeling my core activate as I'm squeezing in on my block. I'm going to bring my arms wide to the mat like a big T shape, ground down into my shoulders. Now squeezing in on that block, start to let your knees fall to one side. And bring knees back to center using those obliques and let them go towards the other side. So nice and easy back and forth. You're using your core to guide your knees from side to side. I'm getting that nice, easy twist. This is just waking up our spine, waking up our core. You could even do this with your eyes closed. I want you to focus on shoulders staying grounded, and you're controlling this movement. You're not swinging your legs. You're not letting gravity take over. You're using that core strength to guide your knees from side to side. Let's just do a couple more right here. Just a nice, easy warm up. Hopefully this is feeling good throughout that spine. Squeezing in on that block. Try not to forget. Let's just do once more to each side. Slow and steady. And as you finish with that final round, go ahead and meet me back in the center. We'll grab our block or our prop in our hands. I want you to reach your legs up to the ceiling for a second and just kind of roll your ankles. Point through your toes, flex your feet back at you, get out those snap, crackle, pops. We'll go ahead and go into a little bit more core here. So block is going to be, doesn't really matter, but we'll keep it in our hands to begin with. I want you to extend your block behind you, lower your feet towards the mat, and then lift head and shoulders, lift feet, put that block in between your feet. Lower hands and feet, inhale. Exhale, lift and switch to hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift and switch. Inhale, lengthen. So I'm going nice and slow with my breath here. I'm going to keep my head lifted the whole time. You don't have to. Depends what feels good for you. And then go to your depth. You don't have to go as low as I'm going. Perhaps looking at feet feels good to you. And then nice and controlled. Let's do 3 more just like this. Bend your knees in order to grab your block if you need to. 1 more. This time, wherever your block is, I want you to hold it either in your feet and your hands and hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to transfers. And breathe. Nice and long each time. Relax through your face if you can. If your low back starts to hurt, don't go as low. Okay, let's do last 3, and then we'll do that final hold, all right? So make sure you're holding in whatever place it wasn't last time. So my block was in my hands. I'm going to make sure my block is in my feet, so you do that. And go ahead and find that last hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. You can set your prop off to the side. You can pull knees into chest. You can lengthen, whatever feels good for you. Nice work, everybody. And then go ahead and meet me like you're setting up for a bridge pose. So bend through your knees, plant your feet about hip width apart, feet nice and close to your hips here. And arms can come down your sides. Palms face down, grounding into shoulders. Press into your feet and lift your hips a couple inches off of the mat. We're going to squeeze our glutes and our hamstrings for this. So I want you to start to pulse up through your hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're keeping our hips lifted. Draw your knees a little closer together. And then walk your feet a couple inches towards the end of your mat. So lengthen your bridge pose. Now pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep lifted. Walk those feet a couple more inches out in front of you. One more time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. We're just going to come back in. So walk your feet back in a couple inches. Pull knees together. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Go back to where you started. Pulsing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold here. Draw knees closer. Squeeze your glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Find yourself in a butterfly. Release that spine. Take a moment, maybe hand on heart, hand on belly, knees fall open, eyes close. Big rounds of breath. One more. Hands can come to outsides of knees. Close your knees together. Pull them into chest, grab under your knees. Let's rock and roll. Couple nice big rock and rolls. Let it feel good. Whenever you're ready, I want you to just come to an easy seated position on your mat. So come up to a comfortable seat. Crisscross, whatever feels good for you. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to work into a seated twist. So I want you to send your right hand behind you. Inhale, your left arm reaches high into the air. Exhale, left hand to right knee. So we're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, we're working into the twist. So inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, twist. 2 more just like that. Lengthen. And twist. Lengthen. And twist. Inhale comes back to center. Take a moment to neutralize. Left hand is going to step behind us this time. Inhale, right arm reaches high, get tall. Exhale, hand to left knee. Now inhale, get tall. Twist on the exhale. Breathe in and twist. Lengthen and twist. 2 more. And as you breathe in, come back to center. We'll make our way to our tabletop. So come over your ankles. Make your way all the way to your hands and knees. You can always cushion under knees if you need to. Stack your joints. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds for your own movement. So perhaps an embryo, a child's pose, cat-cows, shifting front and back, looking past shoulders, stretching your wrists, your ankles, whatever feels good for you. About 15 more seconds. Use your own breath. start to finish with the breath you're on, and I'd like you to meet me back in that tabletop position. So wrists right under shoulders in alignment. I'm spreading my fingers nice and wide, finding a long spine, automatically engaging my core, making sure my hips are right over my knees. Go ahead and curl your toes and hover your knees a couple inches. We're in that hovering tabletop, puffing up through my shoulders, finding my breath. You can stay right here if you'd like a little bit of playtime here. Use your right hand to cup your left knee. Try to level off those hips. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that hand back down. Left reaches to right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to that hover tabletop. Take a breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Stay with the in. Hips high, downward facing dog on the out. Pedal your feet in your down dog. Relax through your head. Maybe shake it yes and no. Keep that engagement in your core. Perhaps keep a bend in your knees. Relax your chest towards your thighs. Start to find stillness. I want you to get a little bit shorter, maybe by 6 inches or so. So either walk your hands back or your feet forward. Reach your right hand back towards your left ankle, shin, knee, whatever you can grab. Relax your head so you're looking underneath your left armpit. Breathe into your little twist. One more breath. And we'll switch to the other side. So right hand comes down, left hand reaches back towards right ankle. I'm releasing my head, looking underneath my right armpit, pulling with that left arm. One more full round of breath in and out. Go ahead and come back to both hands grounded. And we'll walk our feet all the way up to our hands at the top of our mat. Find your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Continue to keep your head relaxed. Maybe grab for opposite elbows. Bend your knees so belly is touching your thighs. Feel that nice release in your low back. 3 more rounds of breath right here. Feel free to sway. Final breath. Release a grip if you have it. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, engage tummy. Exhale, forward fold, relax head. Inhale, lengthen, engage. Exhale, forward fold. At your own pace, start to rise up to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Eventually, shoulders roll back, arms reach up into the air, gaze lifts. And hands at heart center, exhale. Inhale, reach up, look up. And heart center. One more time, breathe in. Bend at your knees and forward fold. We have an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Plant your hands on the mat. Exhale, step back, high plank pose, pause. We have our shoulders over our wrists, our hips in line with our shoulders. Knees can be up or down. We're engaging through our core, puffing up through our shoulder blades. If you notice your form starts to change or get off, go ahead and come down to your knees. Make sure you feel strong. Shift forward on a breath in, back out. Forward in, back out. Once more, forward in, elbows tight, bend them as you lower all the way down to your belly. Uncurl your toes, press tops of feet down. Inhale, baby cobra, squeeze your backside. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, cobra squeeze. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, cobra pose, lift up. Maybe hover your hands, press your toes, hold for 3, 2, and 1, release. Elbows in tight, toes are curled, I'm engaging through my core. Press up to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift heels. Bend your knees. Exhale, look to hands and step or jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift right away. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain, reach up. And as you exhale, bow forward, heavy head at the bottom. Lengthen, find your breath, halfway lift. Plant your hands on the mat as you breathe out, step to plank. Inhale, shift forward, tippy toes. Exhale, lower 3 inches, chaturanga. Tops of feet up, dog, breathe in, shine your heart, pause. Thighs are lifted, elbows have a slight bend, chest is pulling through, gazes forward. One more breath in. Curl toes down, dog out. Inhale, lift heels. Bend your knees. Exhale, jump or step to the top. Inhale, lengthen right away. Fold, let it go. Rise, breathe in. And let it go, breathe out. Prepare with the inhale. Plant your hands, pause for a second, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Jump back with that bend in your elbows right to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, top of the mat. Lengthen, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise, inhale. And fold, exhale. Last flow, halfway lift. Plant your hands, bend your elbows, jump chaturanga. Back bend. And down dog. 2 breaths in, out. In, out. Inhale, high plank. Pause. Come down to your forearm plank. Make sure you have that alignment. You can always do this on your knees. We're going to find hip dips. So right hip, center, left hip, center. Just a couple inches, tick-tocking back and forth. Breathe. Use those obliques. Find your control. Remember to breathe. Don't collapse into your shoulders. We've got this. Suck that belly button towards your spine. 10 seconds to go. Keep up the good work. And go ahead and lower your hips. Sphinx pose. Relax through your belly. Forearms parallel if they weren't already. Press down into your forearms to lift your chest. Relax your belly, let your head fall forward. Relax your glutes. Legs are heavy. Towards right shoulder. Chin to chest and left towards left. And if you'd like, go ahead and make that circle all the way around a couple times. Change directions when you're ready. Good, finish up. Come back to center. We're going to go ahead and bring our right forearm parallel to the short edge of our mat. Turn to your right hip. So come to lie on your right side body, but you're up on your forearm, just like I am here. We're going to bend through our knees. So my legs are stacked. My knees are bent. My left hand's just going to come to my left hip. I'm going to engage that right oblique. Lift my hips off the mat a couple inches. Open my knees, kind of like a clamshell. Close my knees, lower my hips. So open as you lift your hips. Close as you lower. Open, lift. Close and lower. Just like that. You can find a pace that works for you. Nice and controlled here. Feel that right oblique engage every time you lift. Feel free to reset if you need to. Try to keep your shoulder right over your elbow on that right side. Let's do 10 more seconds. So maybe 3 more. And this very next time, last time you lift, go ahead and stay. Maybe lift that left arm into the air. Crunch that right oblique. Hold for 5. 4, a little bit higher. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and slowly lower back down. Lengthen your legs. Come back to your belly. Sphinx pose for a second. Relax your core. Stretch that front side. And then we're just going to go right into that final side. So left forearm parallel to the short edge. Roll to your left hip. Bend through your knees, a pretty big bend. Or maybe 90 degrees. Right hand to right hip, that's comfortable for me. You find what works for you. Go ahead and lift your hips open like a clamshell. Close and lower. So lift and open. Close and lower. Open, lift. Lower, close. Find a pace that works for you. And I'm really engaging that left oblique with every single lift. And breathe. Couple more, you've got it. Squeeze that oblique every time. Reset when you need to. Let's do that last 10 seconds, so maybe get 3 more good ones in. I'm going to lift up into my last one, and I'm going to hold, extending my right arm high. Lift your hips another inch or 2 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Legs long behind you, come back to your tummy. Back to your forearms. And breathe. Good. We'll get a little bit of strengthening in our upper body as well as some stretch. So go ahead and make sure forearms are parallel. Fingers are grounded. Suck your belly button in towards your spine. Curl your toes. Lift your hips. And then keep walking your feet up for dolphin pose. So my booty's really high into the air. I'm making sure I'm not bearing any weight on my head or my neck. Engaging through my core. And I'm going to look at my hands. I'm going to inhale as I shift my face to kiss the mat in between my hands. You don't have to physically kiss. And then exhale, press my chest back. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back. Shift forward. And press back. Let's see if we can do 5 more. These are called dolphin kisses. We're getting into those shoulders. Make sure you're engaged through your core. I have 2 more to go. You've got it. Keep it up. I know they're not easy. Last one. As you finish with that last one, go ahead and drop down to your knees. Keep your hips over your knees in alignment. We'll find a puppy pose, so walk your hands forward. Melt your chest towards the mat. You can do this with your forehead down or your chin down. Close your eyes. Slow down your breath. One more round. Go ahead and pull back up to your tabletop. Curl your toes. Send your hips high, downward facing dog. 2 breaths in, out, in, and out. Look to your hands, bend your knees, and step or jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain. And exhale, sink into Utkatasana, chair pose. So we'll get a little bit into our legs, little upper body as well next, but let's focus on those legs first. So you can either have feet together for chair or feet about hip width apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. Make sure you're all the way up at the top of your mat. Roll that weight back into your heels. You should be able to lift your toes off the mat. If you tried, you should be able to see your toes past your knees, engaging through your core to protect your low back. Relax your shoulders. You can have hands at heart center, down your sides. Up overhead is going to be the hardest option. That's going to lift your heart rate. So you choose. I want you to bear weight into your right leg. Pop that left heel. Now, as we move into balance, it is important that you have a gaze, a drishti, a focus. So find that now. Use your core. Hover your left foot when you're ready. And breathe. From this position, we're going to work to step back into a nice, long, high crescent lunge. So easing your way back nice and slowly. Stepping left foot back, heel is high, knees over ankle. Breathe. Engage through your core. Shift forward without kicking. Left foot comes back to the top of your mat. You're either going to touch your toe down or keep it hovering the whole time. That's up to you. We're going to do that a couple more times. So slowly, like you're moving through mud, step back, high crescent. Hinging forward with control, coming back up to that chair, either tapping toe or keeping it hovering. Slowly working your way back. Nice and controlled. We're in that crescent. We're strong. We've got this. And hinging forward when you're ready. Coming back up to that Utkatasana, chair pose. 2 more times, okay? Slowly coming back, landing gently in our lunge, feeling strong and in control. Hinging forward to help you. Coming back to that chair. Last time, we're just going to go back. Gently, slowly landing in that crescent. Now, perfect this if it's not. Widen your stance. 90-degree bend in front knee. Left leg is straight. Shoulders are over hips. If you haven't yet, extend those arms up overhead. Use your core strength. Sink. Breathe. You've got this. Right hand grabs left wrist. Pull it up and over towards the right side of the room. Breathe into left side rib cage. 2 more rounds. Inhale brings you back to center. You can release your grip just one time. We're going to bend our left knee and hover it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release it. Hands can come to front knee. Hinge your hips forward. Stretch it out. Nice work, everybody. Breathe. One more breath here. Hands come to the mat. Let's stretch out our hamstring. So shift your hips back slightly. Maybe slide your right foot forward. If you want more sensation, you can flex your foot. Hinging forward is going to give you more as well. Let's take about 20 more seconds right here. Relax through your face. Good. Make sure you're grounded through your hands. I want you to bring attention to your left leg. Curl your left toes, like I'm doing right here. Walk your hands back to sit on your left heel. And then go ahead and lift your left knee off of the mat. Yeah? So right now we're hinging forward. I want you to walk your hands back so your shoulders are over your hips. Nice and tall. Maybe arms even lift up off the mat. I'm looking maybe 3 feet in front of me. Option to see if you can hover your right foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your foot down. Walk back out to that lunge. Let your left leg relax. Give it some blood. Shake it off for a second. We're going to grab our weights. They're totally optional, but if you have some, just grab them and see how you like it. Drop that left heel down. We're going to go all the way to warrior 2. So left foot parallel with the back edge of my mat, about. Just make sure it's not pointing backwards. Right toes pointing forward. I can see my right knee on the inside, my right big toe on the inside of my right knee, excuse me. I'm upright. Arms are wide. I'm not death gripping through my weights. With breath, we're going to find movement. So inhale, rise up, arms lift. Exhale, sink into that warrior 2. So inhale, rise. Exhale, we sink. Breathe in. Breathe out, just like that. Now, I want you to look down at your right knee and big toe and make sure you have that alignment. Your knee isn't going past your ankle, and you're keeping that knee pressing to the right every time. Use your breath. 3 more just like this. Finishing with that last round. Meet me on the inhale. Shorten your stance a couple inches for your triangle pose. Bring your arms to a T. Take your hips to the left. Reach to the right until you can't reach any further. And then just tick-tock your arms down. I want you to look up at your left hand, press back slightly with your left hand. Feel that left oblique work. If you want more, send that right arm forward. 2 rounds of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gently rise back up. We're going to bring our hands to the mat in front of us. You can set your weights to this side. Drop down to your left knee. Lengthen your right leg long to the right side. Rise up to stand on your left knee. Cushion it if you need to. We'll do a little bit into our core right here, so I want you to clasp hands behind your head. Sitting up nice and tall, just like how I'm doing. We're going to tilt our bodies to the left a couple inches. Tilt open to the ceiling a couple inches. Close yourself, and then rise back up. So I'll continue repeating that. Lower, tilt open, close, and then rise. So feel this in your right oblique. Lower, open, close, and lift. Just like that, we'll go down, open, close, and lift. Let's do 3 more. Down, open, close, and we lift. 2 more. Down, open, close, and lift. Last one. Down, open, close, rise back up. All finished. Hands can come to the mat in front of you. I want you to very gently sit back into your left heel. If this is too much, if you have knee problems, grab your block, sit on a block, don't go as low. Hinge forward. Some of you might be here, that's your hinge. If you can come all the way down, great. If you want even more sensation, I want you to walk your hands to the right, maybe a couple feet or so. We're going to close our eyes and relax into this stretch. 3 more big rounds of breath. As you finish with that final round, gently press yourself back up. Slide your right knee in to meet your left knee. Just sit back into your heels for a second. Maybe bring your hands to your thighs. Close your eyes. Let's do just a couple shoulder rolls. Choose a direction. Take a couple in that direction. And then go ahead and switch directions. As you finish, just find stillness. 1 more breath here. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Turn back to face forward on your mat. Find your way to your tabletop. Plant your hands. Curl your toes. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, mountain. And then chair pose. So step all the way to the top of your mat. If you're not there, we'll go into that final chair pose. Situate yourself. Find your feet position. Engage through your core, relax through your shoulders. Make sure you can see big toes, roll weight back into heels, all that good stuff. Okay, we'll do this on the other side. So left leg is base. Just start by popping right heel. Once you're here, situate that weight into all 4 corners of your left foot. Find your drishti, your gaze. When you're ready, you're hovering. Slowly as we can, we're going to step back to that first high crescent. Hands can stay at heart center the whole time, or maybe they extend. Back heel is high. I'm stepping back, knee over ankle. I'm going to hinge forward, don't kick. We're using our strength to just glide back to perhaps a hover or a tap. And then we're going for it again, right? So hinge as you gently land into that crescent, standing tall, proud and strong. And then hinging forward, gliding back to that hovering chair pose. Couple more just like that. Gently stepping back to our high lunge. Heels high and feeling grounded. And then hinging as I use my strength to slide myself back up to that chair pose. Hinging forward as you step back to that lunge, nice and long every time. And then stepping back forward, gently to that chair pose. Let's do that one more time. Full round through. So stepping back to our high crescent lunge. Last time, hinging as we step forward to our chair pose. We'll meet in that crescent to finish, okay? So stepping back to that crescent, this time situating yourself. So making sure feet are wide enough. Front knee over ankle, popping that back heel, shoulders over hips. Sink and lengthen. Breathe, you've got it. We're gonna add that side body stretch, so left hand grabs right wrist. Pull up and over to the left side. Don't just crunch into left, lengthen through right. Think about chin off of chest. 2 more rounds of breath, a little further. We come back to the center. Release if you had it. 1 time. Bend your right knee and hover for 5. 4, you've got it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Hands can come to front knee. Shift it forward. Stretch it out. Just breathe. You guys are doing awesome. We're almost done. And then we'll go into our hamstring stretch. So hands to the mat. Maybe shift your hips back slightly. Slide your left heel forward. Hinge if you'd like to. Flex your foot if you'd like to. Just enough so that you're feeling something. Make sure you're not feeling a pull behind your knee. Last couple rounds of breath right here. So we're going to work into that little toe squat on the other side. So I want you to curl your right toes under and start to slide back to sit onto your right heel. And then see if you can lift your right knee. Just help yourself to do it. Now, we're hinging forward. We're going to work to sit upright. So shoulders over hips. I know it's difficult. Maybe arms wide. I like mine nice and wide. Just if you have something near you, make sure you're not going to smack it on accident. Use your core to maybe lift your left foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and set that foot down. Hinge yourself back out to your lunge. Let blood come back into that back leg. Option to grab your weights. So I'm going to grab 1 in each hand. Drop my back heel, and we're going to meet into our warrior 2. So about heel to arch, heel to heel alignment, left toes forward. Right foot about parallel with the back of your mat, maybe a little bit pointing forward. Arms wide to a big T. I'm upright. Try not to hinge forward. Stay nice and upright, stacking your joints. With breath, inhale, rise. Exhale, we sink. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. So you know the breath, you know the movement. Now look at your left leg as you do it. Make sure that your left knee is going to the left, so every single time you can see your big toe on the inside of your left foot, and you're not letting your left knee go past your ankle. If that's the case, you need to get longer through your stance with your breath. Last 3. Last 1, meeting me on the inhale and pause. Shorten your stance to your liking for your Trikonasana. Bring your arms to a T. You've got this. Shift your hips to the right. Reach to the left until you can't reach anymore. And then tick-tock your arms down. So if I was against a wall, I'd be flat against that wall. Look up to your right hand. Press your right arm back, maybe 3 inches. Engage through that right oblique. If you want more, extend left arm forward. 2 rounds of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull yourself back up. Whew. Hinge forward. Set your weights to the side. Drop down to your right knee. Extend your left leg long, Rise up to stand. Shoulders over hips, nice and tall. 1 more pass through that little core work on this side. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind my head just like we did on the other side. This time we're going to tilt to the right. We're going to open, close, and come back up. So down, open, close, and up. So tilt down to the right, open, close, rise up. Use that oblique. Down, open, close, and up. With control, down, open, close, and we rise. 3 more. Down, open, close, and up, down, open, close, and up. This is it. Go down, tilt, open, and close, and rise back up. Release your hands, bring them to the mat. We're all going to gently sit back into right heel. You can sit on a block if you need to. Either stay partially hinged or hinge all the way. If you want a little bit more, like I mentioned last time, you're going to walk to the left. Let your belly be heavy. Two more rounds of breath. Gently rising back up. Sliding left leg in to meet right leg. Again, we'll just sit back onto our heels for a second. Close your eyes, roll your shoulders back. Notice where you're at physically, how you're feeling, where's your breath. Notice where your head space is at. Bring it back to this moment. Could sit off to either side. Swing your legs forward. Wherever you were, I don't know, just make sure you're back on your mat, right? Scoot your feet to the top edge of your mat. Okay, we'll extend our arms forward to lie all the way back. So sit up nice and tall here. Chin off of chest, maybe lift your gaze slightly, and then close your eyes. And we'll just lower back with control for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we get a big full body stretch once we get there. So lie out long. Good. One more time, pull those knees into your chest. Plant your feet on the mat in front of you. I want you to lift your hips and scoot them to the left a couple inches. If you'd like, cross your left leg over your right, and then we'll all let our knees fall to the right. If the crossing of your legs feels like too much, too intense of a twist, just stack your knees instead. From there, bring your arms wide to your mat if they're not already. I want you to press your left shoulder down, and maybe let your head fall to the left if you'd like to. Relax your belly. Finish with the breath you're on. And then I'd like you to use your core to bring your knees back to center. Uncross them, hips back to center. Perhaps give yourself a hug. And then feet come back to the mat. We're lifting our hips, scooting our hips to the right. And then maybe right leg crosses over left, or you're stacking your knees are falling to the left. So we're going to the other side of our twist. I'm going to bring my arms wide, ground down into my right shoulder here. Maybe head falls to the right. Finish with the breath you're on. And then use your strength to bring your knees back to center, uncrossing them, hips back to center, knees into chest, head and shoulders lift off of the mat. We grab around our shins, pull forehead to knees, take a big inhale, squeeze. And exhale as we release into our final Shavasana. If you want to lie on your belly for Shavasana, on your back in butterfly, with a prop, maybe a supported bridge, something under knees, please do so. Get yourself comfortable. Ground your shoulders. Close your eyes. This is one of the most important poses of practice, if not the most, a time to reflect, to come back to ourselves, perhaps a time to feel proud, strong. So allow yourself to soak up those good feelings. Yogis, thank you all for joining us the last 60 minutes for Sculpt class. It's been a joy. I hope you got a little something out of it. Until next time, the light and the love that's inside of me sees and honors the light and the love that's inside of each of you. Namaste.